Hello out there to you. In this problem, we're going to solve the couple of short-run cost function issues. We need average fixed cost, average variable cost, and average total cost, and then marginal cost, all from this total cost function. So lowercase q is used as an output for a single firm. Often they'll use uppercase q for the entire market. And then we've got total cost here. All right, is this short run or long run? We know it is short run. And we know it's short run because there are fixed costs of 300, meaning this firm will always have to pay 300 whether they produce 0 units or 100 units or whatever, right? So you can find that if you just plug in 0 into Q, it'll cost them 300. If you plug in 10 into Q, it would be 300 plus 50 plus 200, I think, something like that. So always going to have the 300. That's how we know it is a short run. Calculate average fixed cost. Okay, so let's just type out our formulas here. Average fixed cost is fixed cost divided by quantity. I suppose I could have done a lowercase q for that. And then average variable cost is variable cost divided by quantity, and whoops, average total cost is total cost divided by quantity. Thing to remember, might help you on a test. Average total cost is also average variable cost plus average fixed cost. So that's kind of helpful. So if you wanted to break this down, you could actually see this part right here, that's fixed cost. And then this part over here, it depends on how many units they produce. Those are the variable costs. So you can break that up. All right, so average fixed cost is just this 300 divided by Q. So we'll type that right here, I suppose. Average fixed cost is 300 divided by lowercase q. Okay. Then average variable cost, they're all part of the same thing, average variable cost. So that's this portion here divided by Q. So it'd be 5 over Q, so that's just 5, plus 2Q. That's average variable cost. And then average total cost, well, it's your choice. You can add them together, or we can do it this way. We can go average total cost equals, we'll type this in like this. So it's 300 over Q plus 5Q over Q, which is 5, plus, which is this right here, plus 2Q squared over Q, so it'd be 2Q. This is your average total cost right here. Then marginal cost. So marginal cost is the partial derivative with respect to Q of this entire function. So this is a constant, it goes away. This will be just 5, and then plus 4Q. This is the marginal cost function, and you're all set. Now let's say you were asked to draw a graph of this. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's use the other one here. It's GeoGebra here. We're going to plug all of these in. Should have had that loaded up before I started talking. Didn't. Oh well. But typically we wouldn't graph the average fixed cost because it's just going to be like a downward sloping function. It's not very interesting. Okay, so you want to use y for whatever's on the y-axis, which is going to be cost. So I'll do average variable cost, so it's 2x, and we're going to substitute x for q because it can't handle. Can it handle that? No, it can't handle that. So there's your average variable cost. Now let's say you wanted to name it. You could go into settings. You could change it. You could just change that to average variable cost. And now did it work? No, it didn't work. AVC. There we go. Okay. And so now we've got average variable cost right there. Then we want average total cost. So let's go y equals 300 over x, and then plus 5 plus 2x. And so that is our average total cost. So at ATC, oh, I don't know why it's, there we go. I guess you gotta set off it. If you didn't like the color, you can change the color. Okay, so there's our average total cost, and then we're going to put in the last one, which is marginal cost, 5 plus 4q. Change it to x, and then that'll update it for you. Settings, we're going to change this to marginal cost, and it updated everything. So they're all labeled up there. And you can see marginal cost intersects average total cost at its minimum, and it does the same thing with average variable cost. So that's the start of the average variable cost, and also known as the shutdown point, should be 5 right there. So here's your graph, and you can take a screenshot. You could save it however you want. You can kind of zoom in, zoom out,